Hello guys, and welcome to the continuation, I would say, of this project, so we can finally finish it. So first thing we need to do is we need to make sure here we have black stroke on the edge of our pattern. For example, if we go to this picture, to this photo, as we can see here we have black stroke on the end, and it applies the same. Okay, here we don't have it, but we have it here on the jacket. So how can we do that? First of all, we need to choose our jacket pattern, and then what we actually need to do, we need to press twice on the empty place, on the empty space, I would say. If you don't have empty, you can just press right here and go to blending options, and here we have see layer styles open. This is actually what we need. So here we need stroke. Just press it, make sure it's selected, and make sure the screen changed to this, to stroke. Now what we have to do, as you can see here, we have now stroke appeared. It may look different for you because your parameters are different, mine are different. So what do we need to do here? First, let's change fill type to color. This makes sure we have a blue color right now as our stroke, but we don't need a blue color, we don't need it to be black, so we just press on color, we change it to black. As you can see, we also can choose here, for example, gradient, and we can choose we can choose different gradient here. We can also choose like pattern, and then choose different patterns here, and so on. But we will need just the color, so black color, perfect. Also, we need to play a little bit with the size, and I think it should be a little bit smaller, so like 5. Yep, 5 should be good. That's perfect. We can also play with the position, which helps us, for example, to make the stroke go outside, to be inside, or in the middle center. We will make it outside, like this. No, actually no, let's do it inside. Yep, and let's just press OK. Good. So if I get closer, now I can see the stroke here. Next thing we need to do is we need to add this manual brush strokes, as you can see here. Also, one thing I have to tell you, here we have a different pattern. This time I used a different pattern, which actually also looks pretty interesting. So, and you know, I have a lot of patterns different. You can also download a lot of different patterns and try them in order to have this kind of look. Let's continue. By the way, if you want to change your pattern, what you can actually do, let's say we don't like this pattern, the one that we have on this jacket, what can we actually do? So first of all, we have to press right here, not here, right here in general on the layer, and then we have here replace contents. We press it. Now we need to choose another picture, so I can go to my assets, and then I can go to my patterns, and here I have different patterns. I think it was this one, so let's just choose this pattern here. Okay, as you can see, my pattern changed now, but it looks kind of weird. It's not appearing on the fully on the whole jacket. This is because of the size of this image. So what can we do? First of all, here you can see the link between the mask and photo. We want to make the photo bigger, but if we make the photo bigger right now, the mask is going to be bigger as well. So like this, the mask of this jacket is going to change. For example, to make this bigger, I go to Edit, Free Transform, and if I hold Shift and make this bigger, as you can see, it doesn't look right. So let's just press Cancel right now. First of all, we have to unlink the photo and the mask. We press here to unlink them. Perfect. Now I can change the size only of the picture. For example, now if I press Ctrl T or Command T on Mac in order to change the size, and now I can hold Shift. When I make it bigger, as you can see, what happens is actually the mask stays the same, only the size of the pattern is changing. Yep, like this. And when we press OK. But since I did that, I also need to change the blending mode, because this blending mode doesn't really good look on this pattern. So for example, I can look for different blending modes. Nope. Let's see what we got here. This one actually looks pretty interesting. Yeah, I will go with this one. Okay, let's continue. So next thing we need to do, we need to add these brush strokes here. So how can we do them? How can we add them? We are going to use pen tool for that. So we just take our pen tool, and before you start drawing, make sure you go to path and you select shape. This will make sure every time we draw a new path, it's going to be a shape. We select shape, and now before we start drawing them, let's choose the style. So we don't need a fill, but we need stroke. We press on stroke, and then we press here, and we just check black color. So make sure fill is this one, on basically 0, no fill, and stroke is just black. And yeah, 10 is too much. This is the width of the stroke. Let's make it 5 and press enter. So now if we start drawing, let's create a new layer. And if we start drawing, for example, I can start with pen tool. Yep, I press, for example, I continue pressing. As you can see, a black line appears here. We're going to use this in order to create kind of outlines of his hand. So, oops, wait, something is wrong. Okay, let's continue. Now let's create a new layer, and let's do some other place, for example this hand, and then we just press. Just try to imagine where would be the outline of his hand be. If you can't imagine, you can just turn off the shape, and as you can see here, for example, this is the outline of his hand. This is the outline. I went a little bit off the line, but it's still okay. We can actually continue like this, and then we can turn on the pattern. So let's create a new layer. Every time we create a new line, we have to create a new layer. And then, for example, I can also do this one, new layer, I should also probably do this as well, new layer. We can also do these little things here, as you can see, for example, or actually this thing here. So let me get closer, and I can just press. So every time you press, there's a line, a new line. And we can also do the same for these things here, for example, like this, new line, like this. We just need to make a few of them. You don't need to make like all of them. Yep, like this. And if we turn on the pattern right now, as you can see here, we have now bunch of lines like this. It looks pretty good. So now we want to make sure all of them are grouped, so it's not too many layers on our layer panel. So we press first on the first one, and then we hold shift and press on the last shape, and then we press the group icon, and like this they are grouped. So we can turn them off and on anytime we want to. Great, right? So now what I want to do actually is I want to make them a little bit thicker. As you can see, they are not as thick as I would like them to be. So what we can do, we open the group. We have to select all of the shapes. So we select the first one, we hold shift and select the last one. And now we can just go here and change, for example, to make sure you have pen tool selected. Otherwise you won't see this panel. And change this to 8. Press enter. Yep, that's much better. We can close this and just press somewhere else. So good. What else do we have to do? We need to adjust this mask here, because as you can see, it's going onto his beard. We don't need it, so we just have to choose it, and then we can take our brush tool, make this smaller, make sure we have black selected, and if we start drawing, okay, go to hardness, make it a little bit harder, like 70%, perfect, so it's not that soft. Let's take white color again, and I need to make sure this is perfect. Good. Now what we also have to do is we need to make sure the picture behind is actually black and white. So we choose the picture, we go here and we select black and white, and as you can see now it's black and white. What else can we do to make this look better? We can play with colors. As you can see here, I have totally different colors. In order to change the colors, what can you do? So first you have to select the patterns that you want to change the colors of. You go here and you select hue saturation. When you have done this, you can play with hue. For example, when you change the hue, as you can see, the hue of this pattern is changing. You can also bring the saturation up like this, so now it's really saturated. Just choose something that you like. Yeah, this one for example. Now we go to the other pattern, which selects the pattern. We go here and select hue saturation, and again, but now this time when I start doing it, as you can see, it changes not only the hue saturation of this layer, but also of this layer. We wanted to change only the hue saturation of this layer only. So how can we do that? We go to layers. So we press right button, and here we press create clipping mask. When we do that, now this adjustment layer is connected only to this layer. Like this, when we change this effect, it changes only on this layer. So like this I can change it. And also I can make the saturation go up. Yeah, when I make it up, as you can see, these green points appear, which actually look pretty nice. So it may look different for you. It all depends on what kind of pattern are you using. As you saw, I changed my pattern in the middle of the video, but you don't have to do. You can just use any pattern, or you can use your own pattern. So oops, sorry, I pressed it. Okay, so now the most important thing is for you is to choose the right pattern and the right photo, because you already understand how this works. And actually, as you can see, this is pretty easy to create. The only thing is that you just have to choose the right pictures. For example, if I can see the next one here, we have only one pattern, and we have a lot of like strokes and different colors. And here is the same. I have two patterns actually here, this one and this one. And also I changed the colors and brought a lot. As you can see, these strokes, you can also create them manually. This one with pen tool. I actually don't like this pattern. Like I don't like it like really. So let's change it. So I go here, I press right, and I go to this layer, press right, and I press here replace content. I have to choose another pattern, and let's choose, for example, this one. I'm not sure if it's going to be okay, but not too much probably. Yeah, this is kind of too much, I would say. Right click again, replace content. Let's just choose the first one that we had. It was actually this one. Yep, this looks actually nice. Okay, so you also have the same patterns in your project files, so you can play with them and choose the pattern that you like the most. Now I just have to change the color and to make sure it looks good. Yeah, this actually is pretty nice. This is like one of the things that I would post to Instagram. So I hope you like this tutorial. And as I said before, you can go and find your own patterns, your own images. For example, if you go to Unsplash here, you can just write pattern, and here you can find a lot of different patterns that you can use in your images. Or you can also write here texture. Yeah, and then you can also this kind of texture. You can also even like graffiti, because you know graffiti is also almost like a pattern. It looks kind of beautiful. So this is the one that we use. You can use other stuff, or you can also try paint brush, something like this, for example. So that's all for our lesson. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, just message me. I will be happy to help you. See you guys till the next lesson.